Yellowstone is officially ending after season 5, and it's the fault of no one but its own creators, Taylor Sheridan and Kevin Costner. For weeks, we have discussed Costner and his desire to leave the show. We didn't hold back in criticizing him, as many people found his reasonings unreasonable, even going as far as to label him as selfish. Even though we are still behind what we have said before about Costner and his choice to throw Yellowstone under the bus, we feel like it's time to look at Sheridan and his part in this epic downfall. There are many aspects of Sheridan that are allegedly lead to the cancellation of Yellowstone. However, none was more efficient than the fact that the successful writer has failed in completing the scripts for the new episodes of the hit series. Yes, you heard it right. Despite the announcements of Yellowstone's cancellation have already made headlines, we are still yet to have a proper script for Season 5 Part 2 of the show. It's rumored that one of the reasons why Costner was willing to leave the series was the fact that Sheridan was not being able to write the scripts on time, which was causing the cast and crew to reschedule the shooting time over and over again. Understandably, this is simply annoying, to say the least. Why Sheridan is failing to write scripts for his biggest show, though? Is he unsuccessful in his job? Has he lost his mojo? Is he no longer interested in the epic saga? Or is he just overwhelmed? To have an answer to all these, we have to go back to the very beginning, the time when Sheridan decided to be a scriptwriter in the first place. Taylor Sheridan began writing scripts after he suffered an injury while working as a rodeo rider. While recovering, he took an acting class and realized he had a talent for writing. He started writing screenplays and eventually sold his first script, Sicario, which was produced in 2015. This success led to more writing opportunities, including Hell or High Water and Wind River, and eventually to his work as a creator and showrunner on television shows like Yellowstone and its spin-offs. Taylor Sheridan's writing is often characterized by its strong sense of place, attention to detail, and emphasis on character development. He is known for his complex and nuanced portrayals of the American West and the people who inhabit it, often exploring themes of family, loyalty, and redemption. Sheridan's scripts tend to be highly visual, with a focus on action and suspense. He also incorporates elements of realism into his writing, drawing on his own experiences as a former actor, firefighter, and ranch hand. Additionally, he often incorporates issues of social and political relevance into his stories, such as the plight of Native Americans or the opioid epidemic. Sheridan's characters often speak in a natural, conversational style that feels authentic and unscripted. For example, in Yellowstone, the characters frequently use colloquial phrases and slang and interrupt each other in mid-sentence, which makes their conversations feel more realistic. Sheridan's characters are also often multidimensional and complex, with their own unique motivations and backstories. In Yellowstone, the Dutton family members are all flawed individuals with their own strengths and weaknesses, and their actions are often driven by their personal histories and experiences. Sheridan's work often explores themes of family, loyalty, and honor. In Yellowstone, these themes are central to the story as the Dutton family fights to protect their land and their legacy. Sheridan's scripts also have a gritty, realistic view of life, with all its hardships and struggles. In Yellowstone, this is evident in the way the characters deal with violence, trauma, and loss, as well as the harsh realities of ranch life. Last but not least, Sheridan's scripts often feature detailed descriptions of the environment and setting, which help to create a vivid sense of place. In Yellowstone, this can be seen in the way the show portrays the Montana wilderness, with its sweeping vistas, rugged terrain, and abundant wildlife. As you can see, Sheridan doesn't simply write and move on. His writing requires lots of attention to detail, construction, deep thinking, and knowledge of certain topics. He is a professional writer who takes his job very seriously, which makes things a bit more complicated than usual. All these suggest that Sheridan is a true perfectionist, which might be both a blessing and a curse for an ambitious person. It's a blessing because perfectionists are often successful in what they do. But it's also a curse because perfectionists are infamous for being procrastinators, as they never feel like it's the right moment to complete the job, as they often feel insufficient to reach perfection. There is no specific time frame for how long it takes Sheridan to write a script. In interviews, he has mentioned that it can take him anywhere from a few months to a year to complete a screenplay, depending on various factors such as the complexity of the story, the amount of research required, and his other commitments. He has also noted that he often writes multiple projects at the same time, switching between them as inspiration strikes, which can affect the overall timeline for completing each individual script. Still, it's obvious that writing anything, even a 10-word poem, might take hours, days, and even months at times, especially for a perfectionist. So we are not surprised to see that Sheridan is often struggling to meet deadlines and requires rescheduling and shooting times. He's a creative person, and it takes time to create something perfect. Nevertheless, objectively, we can see how unprofessional this can be in a working space, as there are dozens of people depending on him and his work. Despite all these delays and struggles in completing his work, Sheridan is objectively a successful writer. He has received critical acclaim and accolades for his work in film and television. Sheridan's screenplay for the 2016 film Hell or High Water was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, and his screenplay for the 2017 film Wind River received widespread critical acclaim. And we don't even have to mention how successful Yellowstone has become at this point. Still, in spite of his success, Sheridan has failed to keep his #1 star, Kevin Costner, on board, which eventually led to the premature cancellation of Yellowstone. Some might interpret this outcome as proof of Sheridan's shortcomings, and we get that. Especially the fact that the writer is currently working on more than 10 projects while writing the scripts of multiple of them simultaneously. It's quite understandable to blame him for not completing Yellowstone properly. Perhaps if he took the time off from other projects and focused on Yellowstone a bit more, we might have got a proper ending for the epic saga as every single fan has wished for years. And yet it seems like Sheridan has truly lost his interest in Yellowstone, which is why he is struggling to write the scripts for the final episodes of the show. Also, we have to remember the fact that Sheridan had already determined how he wanted to end the show years back. Despite this fact, he is still struggling to put that ending onto the paper, which is just odd. Recently, producer Stephen Kay expressed excitement and hope that Sheridan will finish the script soon. Since Costner is leaving the series, John's character will be killed off in the upcoming episodes of the show. An insider has stated that the remaining episodes will play out the repercussions of John's death, with the whole team currently meeting in Texas to plan the conclusion. Sheridan is expected to have the story worked out. Are you confident that Sheridan will deliver a top-notch ending for the Yellowstone saga by the release date of November 2023 against all odds? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.